welcome back to a Square Round Table review. This week we're going to be reviewing the amazing Deadpool 3, Deadpool Wolverine. Yeah,
Yes, that's the
Deadpool
official
Wolverine,
title.
but I call it Deadpool 3 for short.
Oh yeah, because that's really what it is. That's what it was
Yeah.
gonna be called at first anyway.
So,
Yeah, so
how you feel? How did you feel about Deadpool? Was it everything you wanted to be, or give us your thoughts?
it was good.
Oh,
It was a Deadpool movie.
yeah.
I feel like some things was forced in there though, but
Oh my gosh. What did you? Okay, I'm about to ask you. What did you think that was forced in?
not forced in. But I just felt like it. They put it in to save face. I'll say that.
Okay. Okay.
But nah,
We
we,
gotta
we
get
you
it.
know
You wanna?
we gotta talk.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I know. I was about to ask you if
No,
you gonna get into it, but we gonna get into it
no,
later.
I was just saying. We basically to all our freaks and geeks out here tonight.
Yeah.
Me and D gonna review Deadpool and Wolverine, which just hit theaters last Friday, this Friday that just
La-
passed.
yeah, the
No,
last
last
Friday.
Friday.
Last Friday. I was like,
Last
this
Friday.
Friday.
It's in theaters now, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, you acting like it's early access for us, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I did that. No.
Yeah, you made it feel like we got early access or something. I
We
was
ain't got
like,
text like that yet. We're working on that. But yes, we're reviewing the Deadpool Wolverine movie, which is out in theaters right now. This is Deadpool's official first MCU appearance in the main Marvel universe. And let's talk about Marvel Jesus.
yeah, let's talk. Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about Marvel Jesus, the true Marvel Jesus. Okay, yeah, let's really like that. I liked that it continued with all the people we knew from the last movie. We had
Except for Domino. Where was
yeah,
Domino,
yeah,
bro?
except for Domino. Yeah. I think as I said, I think a lot of people were saying that it was like a padded cast, but I was like, you could have had Domino in there. You could have had her in a cameo or something.
Y'all know y'all ain't want to put Domino in there because Zazie would have stole the show. Y'all can't be doing my girl like that. Represent from the cast of Atlanta, man.
Right? But yeah, like I think comedically it was great. It kept the same like energy from the other two movies.
Opening though.
That opening was yeah, that opening was great. So, yeah. Is that your favorite? Is that your
If you
favorite
are
opening?
yes, because if you were early '90s baby, that was like everything you wanted in an opening scene, like the music, the dancing, and it was funny as hell.
It
And the
was. It was
fact that
great.
he used Logan's bones and stuff to take out everybody.
The nunchuck, whatever bones that he had connected. I think there was like the femur to or I don't know what it was, the leg joint
Yeah,
or whatever it was. That was cool. I like that.
he did some pretty creative stuff.
Yeah, he did.
I'm just gonna leave it at that, and I think everyone who's watched the film know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's one little moment where he uses it in a certain area. He got
Yeah,
real creative with it.
he did. But I do like when he wrapped him on. He got the claws. He was ready to go at it.
And then he
Uh,
realized he was like, "Oh my gosh, it's hard to have claws of
I
metal."
like I like that they connected his universe with the, as we were gonna mention later on, the anchor points of Wolverine, like Logan, like connecting that movie and making that like the central point. Because it does make sense like outside of universe that like after Logan, the Fox verse kind of just started declining, and Deadpool was like those little bumps where it got, like it rose up. But like the X-Men movie they weren't the greatest. The ones that came out later on in Fox, like the more recent ones, like First Class was great.
First Class and Days of Future Past.
And Days of Future Past, yeah, but that
Apocalypse and Dark.
No.
Somebody said they could have just went back to the older one, like when they got older, and just continued the story from that, because they could have did Dark. Oh man, never mind. That's
a whole other thing.
Yeah, but I agree. I agree with you. I like how it kept the tone, like you said, of Deadpool, and they didn't try to change it because it was Disney, which I'm very shocked.
I was shocked
that they did what they did in this movie.
I'm shocked at the dialogue. The dialogue.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like it's gonna say, "Hey, you can't you can't use the F-bomb this many times, or you can't say this word, or you can't do this." Like one of my favorite scenes is with Blind Owl, and they talking about doing and they was using like all the different words for it because he's like Feige said that's the one thing we can't do and we can't touch, and then they was saying all like different
Oh,
like
the other
slang
like name
words,
for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
The one thing I was surprised is how much they ripped on the MCU and how much they allowed that to be in the dialogue. Because they kept saying exactly what the fans were talking about so many times. I was just surprised. I was like, "This is a great movie."
Yeah, I'm glad they kept the violence at the same level, the dialogue, the chemistry between Hugh and Ryan Reynolds is just
It's amazing,
bro. I
yeah,
could watch a movie with them like all day. It don't even have to be a superhero movie. It could just be a regular buddy cop movie or something. I will watch it.
yeah, exactly. I liked all the different variations of Wolverine we got or Logan.
We finally first of all, if I get into the ones that I like, we finally got a on-screen accurate version of Wolverine when they had him like he was like 5'6", and he got because it was so funny because he went at the bar, it looked like he was going to be larger than life, and then he got. I just cracked up, man. But the fact that we got Old Man Logan, like the official Old Man Logan, him in the brown and yellow suit.
Yeah.
And it was the Hulk where he was fighting the Hulk. And we got the OG Hulk that we like. Then we got Patch.
Yeah, or Patch, sorry.
But my favorite one was Calverine.
Oh yeah, Calvert.
Henry Cavill is Wolverine. Dude, when I saw Henry Cavill turn around, I was like, no way, they did not get him to do that. And I was like, that is awesome. Because Henry Cavill is my boy.
Yeah, I agree. Like he definitely they didn't treat him good at DC, they said in the dialogue. He said, "We'll treat you better than the guy down the street." And I was like,
dude, I just man, it's when they have those perfect castings of characters and that person was just meant to play them. Yeah. Ryan Reynolds was meant to play Deadpool.
I agree.
In whatever universe that in our world it's in, he's the one who can only play Deadpool. Nobody else can play that role.
Yeah, there is nobody else.
It's just so perfect, and even from beginning to from the opening act to the middle. What is it? I always forget the middle of the climax. And then I'm messing up my film terms right now, but from 1, 2, and 3, it stayed consistent. It didn't feel like it was going all over the place. And surprisingly, it had a good plot in the storyline, and it stayed on course with it. Sometimes you can get crazy with these multiverse and different universes, especially with the TVA, but it stayed right on course. And I was like, yo, that was good. It was done really well. And I'm like, Marvel, take some notes.
Hey, take some notes from this. No, like I think because I was looking at reviews before I watched the movie, and a certain company like they said that the plot was all over the place, and I was like, when I watched the movie, I'm like, the plot was actually good. Deadpool standards, I think usually he keeps on plot for the most part.
Yeah, and then
go ahead.
It's gonna be all over the place because it's Deadpool,
but it still stays on a central like plot because in the beginning it was all about him or what's his name? Is it Pandora? Yeah, Pandora. Is it Pandora? Well, not Pandora. What was his name?
Oh, you talking about the dude from the TVA?
Yeah, not Pandora.
This little annoying ass. I forgot.
Paradox.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paradox. And he talked about the Ripper, and that was the big focal point through the entire thing, and it came back around at the end. So it stayed from beginning to end. It was about saving his timeline. So he like the plot was not all over the place. So I was like, I was like, really?
And the fact that we found out that Deadpool's timeline and universe is the X-Men movies and Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah,
that's his whole universe. So I was like, that's cool to know that's what he belonged to as far as characters, and that's why the movie Logan took place in his universe. I was like, okay, cool. At least we know now, like for sure.
At least we have a consistent timeline going on here for those movies. And I like that the Void or whatever. I think it was the Void. Like it had all of the throwaway stuff from all the shows, like the Elias from Loki was in there because they threw it away immediately.
Yep.
So he was in there, and then Johnny Storm was in there, which I called that before I even saw him. Like I knew that was Johnny. I was like, that's Johnny.
Yeah, because it's like it's never gonna be a Captain America variant in the void
No,
because he's one of the characters that you gotta have him. So
exactly.
when I saw him jump down, I said, "Oh, I said that's gonna be Johnny." I said because I know the voice, and when he
Yeah,
said "Flame On," I said, "Man, it was just it was cool because it's like as much heat as we gave these guys when they played these characters." Not even them as far as like how the movies were directed or written or how the studios got behind it. It's cool to see them like come back in these roles and not really to say they make light of it and make it a mockery or a joke, but it's we pay the respects to it, but at the same time it's like you get to see them enjoy it and have fun. Like I feel
yeah.
like everybody who came back as their characters were real happy to do it and they just
Mm-hmm.
totally had fun with it. And then we get like the biggest surprise. Like even though Blade was like my favorite moment, the biggest
Yeah,
surprise was
you
Shannon
know.
as Gambit. As a
Yes.
Gambit though.
Here's what I said after seeing that scene. I was like, give that man a movie. Give
He
him a
should have,
movie.
bro. And it's so messed up because it's like now he's like in close to his 40s or in his 40s and he didn't, he ain't even a big dude, but like he got more muscles and stuff. And y'all could have gave this man this movie when like what? That was almost like 6, 7 years ago. And I'm like,
Yeah,
bro, see, he would
dude.
have been great, but y'all want to be y'all.
His accent was so good though. I was
Man, and it was
surprised because here's the thing. I was looking at his accuracy. I was like, okay, now get the voice right. That's what I was like waiting for him to speak. And then when he started speaking, I was like, okay, we're good.
man,
We're safe here.
I could watch that movie again just to hear him talk and just
Yeah.
and then to hear like Deadpool's dialogue towards him, like, what? Can you please say that again? I was
He said, "Who's your trader? A minion?" That was so damn funny.
but so I know we like all over the place because it's so
Yeah,
much, and it
it's
was
so
like
much stuff.
it was so good and so
Like
much juice and
I'll tell you this,
things.
I liked, and I'm going back to the X-Men or the. I'll go back to like when we're talking about Ryan Reynolds and Hugh, but I'll talk about them like in characters like Wolverine and Deadpool. They're back and forth and them fighting each other and them like actually going all the way out but can't kill each other was so
It's
funny to
so
watch.
funny. It's so hilarious because they can't do anything. Like it's not gonna end. They're not gonna end each other because they literally can't die.
Exactly.
They're
So
gonna keep healing. So it's like, okay, I'm in for it because I know it's just gonna go back and forth. But hey, I'm
they went all the way with it though. They didn't
but
launch it.
they
That
didn't
van got
hold
messed
nothing
up. That van got
all the
messed
way.
up. They were fighting the van, and at the end of the van scene, he had Deadpool wrapped up in a seatbelt. That was so funny. But I like
It
that
was
they brought
hilarious.
X-23 back too.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
she did a really good job, a
yeah,
really
she
good
did.
job with the character. She embodied it right back. She's had some time in between Logan and this movie, and she came back and brought it. All of
And the
them did.
fact that
Go ahead.
yeah, and the fact that she was one of the ones they had to send out of the world because they was too threatening. Because I'm like, bro, every character they chose, yes, they fit that description. He's a threat because they come for Blade, he gonna take them out. Elektra, she's a threat
Mm,
because she comes from a damn family line where she was
Justified is an
trained.
American neo-Western television series that premiered its third season on January 17th, 2012, on FX. The season
what?
consisted of 13 episodes and concluded on April 10th, 2012.
What are we doing here, Alexa? Why are we talking?
Bro, let me unplug that shit. Cause did you hear me say Alexa?
I did not. I heard Electra.
Yeah.
It said close enough.
Yeah, we'll have to cut that part out. That was, yeah.
I feel like we should leave that in. That was great.
You know what? Yes, they'll get a laugh out of that.
Yeah, we leaving it in. He
I
said
said,
Electra he comes from a
oh,
family.
Elektra, yes, because she the whole background with the being an assassin and a train
Mm-hmm.
killer and all that. And then we had of course Gambit, because Gambit is that dude.
And Gambit
So
wouldn't go down lying down
heck no.
at
Oh,
all.
and I'm so glad we got to see a true like Gambit using his true potential of his powers, bro. Like
He was going off.
not that old throwing cards and it just kind of graze you, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
like he throwing the cards and it's blowing off an arm, or he taking the pole and it's going through, it's impaling somebody, and then you just see, and I'm like,
Right.
yes,
Yeah. Right.
yes.
It is so good with respecting characters in this movie.
They did.
Like
Which is
even
crazy.
Sabretooth came out and he was there for a second, but that was cool. That samurai, cross thing, that was cool.
I thought it was gonna be like a good like 3-minute fight, and when they did that, I was like, damn. Because
Like,
I
Wolverine,
forgot this Wolverine is just like a complete piece of shit.
he's not gonna throw no hands with you. He's just gonna get it over with.
Yeah, so that was good. It was cool to see all the characters from Deadpool 2. You know, we thought their fates were all the same, but I remember he went back in time and changed it.
Yeah,
And we got to see Peter, and I forget the dude, the guy who's like the alien, and he had
I forget his
red
name.
hair. And then of course, I'm not saying that long name, Megasonic Teenager.
I was
Is that
gonna
what
let
it
you do
is?
it. It's close enough. It's pretty much
Close enough. Yeah.
No, like it's a long name. That is a long name.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see that him and Vanessa was broke up, and then his interview.
Yeah,
that was funny.
That was funny too.
That was funny. I thought for sure somebody was gonna walk in from the Avengers when he was sitting there talking. But I was like, nah, they're not gonna do it.
Did you notice that they blocked out Tom Holland in the movie? In that scene, yeah, they blocked him out because that would technically categorize as him appearing in the movie. So then that would be the last movie he could be in. So they were like, let's just scope it out. And I saw that I was watching a video on a lot of the things in the movie, like the behind the scenes, and that was one of them. I was like, oh, okay. But how'd you like Nightfall?
Before I go there, but it's funny because they blocked him out, but they didn't. Because did you see the mask from the expo that he wore when they said that was him? So they were smooth with it.
They let you know that was what it was without like actually explicitly saying. But yeah, how'd you like Nightfall? That Nightfall.
Nightfall. Oh, Ryan. Basically Ryan Reynolds with a Deadpool suit on and a terrible wig.
Yeah.
I was like, man, can they please do something with him? I was so glad, like, when they got rid of him because I was like, he was annoying as hell. But it was supposed to be like that. That was done on purpose.
That was the purpose.
It wasn't like a bad thing. Like, I was like, okay, this dude is. But it was cool. It was basically Ryan Reynolds in a Deadpool in a nice shiny leather Deadpool suit. That's exactly.
And then his like fourth break wall for not even fourth break wall. It was just him referencing a movie.
He was like, Deadpool's bitch. Dude, I laughed so hard and when I was watching that movie, bro. It was so fun from beginning to end.
It was great. How'd you like all the other Deadpool like variants that came at the end of the movie? I know we're jumping around, but I like to get those like.
I thought it was cool because we know it's something that exists in the comics. Like this isn't something they just made up because it's a multiverse. Like the Deadpool Corps is actually like a thing, and I like the fact that they all were there to like fight him. Like it wasn't a thing like, oh, we're here to help you. They was like,
no, we're here to take you out.
To tear you up. Like we here to fuck some shit up. Like it was cool to see all the different variations of Deadpool. We got like Western Deadpool, Baby Deadpool, Kid Deadpool, Lady Deadpool, Headpool, Dogpool. I love Dogpool, by the way. Shout out to Dogpool. Shout out to Dogpool.
Yes, Dogpool.
It would have been kind of dope to see like some Wolverines coming up, but I know why they didn't do it because that would have took a lot of either like CGI or either they had to actually cast different people. Which I think they saving that for the actual like introduction of the mutants in the MCU to like
recast.
I think they eventually gonna do it. They're probably gonna try to bring in like a younger crew of X-Men.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I can see why that didn't happen.
I'll say it like this: when the cowl came on, I was done. Like I was done.
I saw it with my girl, and she looked over there, and I was just smiling, and I was like, I don't understand. This
You
has
don't get
been.
it.
I've been waiting 20 years for this. And it was the coolest freaking moment, bro. Because it's like
It
for the
was.
longest they would not let him wear it. And I was like, he said plenty of times he would wear the cowl.
Let him
Give it
wear
to
it.
him. Let him wear it. And when he put it on, I said, I could have cried. I was so happy.
I
You
was.
know,
I,
it was a movie where I got Blade, the
yes.
cowl,
Yes.
in the same movie. Now I ain't gonna lie.
Yes.
If Ben Affleck would have walked out as Daredevil, dude, I probably would have fell out my seat. But after I saw Elektra, I was like, okay, they chose Elektra, so that means Matt didn't make the cut. But I'm okay with Elektra because
Oh yeah.
the three things from that movie that I like was Michael Clark Duncan's Kingpin,
Yep.
Elektra, and then Ben Affleck's Daredevil. As far as because they really was doing like the version of him from the comic books. Who was it? The Man Without Fear version.
Yeah.
So he was a little darker. But the whole movie was just a studio and writing and directing thing. But those three characters were my favorite. So the fact that I got one of those, I was satisfied.
Yeah. I will say one thing. Ryan Reynolds did what Marvel couldn't do. Bring back Blade and some other characters and give us the cow.
Yep.
Like
He
he's
did
the
all of that.
like he's the guy for me now. I'm like, man, Ryan.
On top of that, bringing back villains like
Yeah.
Pyro, Toad,
Mhm.
and the original actors who
Yeah.
played them,
Exactly.
Sabretooth. And I'm talking about from the Fox movie. So we got Ray Park to come back as
Mhm.
Toad. And I was like, yo, he's the GOAT, man. And it's
I
like, basically, he's the popular kid in school that can just get people to come to the party because he got everybody to come, man. Like,
yeah.
they was all present.
Yeah, because Wesley Snipes was like he didn't think he was ever going to be back in
Mhm.
Blade, and
And,
Ryan was just like, "Come on,
and
bring it on."
you know what, Demetrius? Remember we was just talking about on our Marvel review how Blade is the one who saved Marvel. And
Mm-hmm.
he's in a movie that might save Marvel again. So it's
Yeah,
like we was just talking about that, and he officially becomes the actor to play to have the longest run as a superhero character now because he reappeared as Blade. So we
hey,
love you, Hugh. But our boy Wesley came to take the crown back, man. So
yeah.
if he ends up in the new Blade movie just somehow, I don't know, Hugh. You're gonna have to do a couple more Wolverine movies.
Hey, with the cow,
With the cow.
with the
We
cow.
want you spoiled us now. You should have never put it on. Like we gotta see it now.
Hey, it was a good send off to finally get the cow though, like to the
No.
Fox. It was because I mean, with this movie, it's pretty much saying that they're really not going to touch the Foxverse too much more. It's going to be
Yeah,
recast now.
when they had that montage at the end and they was
Mm-hmm.
playing Green Day, I said, "Dang, it's really over now." Like
Right?
nobody plays that song unless it's over now.
I was like, dang. I was like, man, I was like, Hugh, I want one more movie out of you with the cow. Come on. One more.
Bro.
And I was like, Ryan, try to get a Blade movie going because you have the most steam to get a Blade property going now, man. Because you got Wesley Snipes back.
I really wish we could have got that Blade and Morbius.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been so good. But yeah, I think he can get another Blade movie out of him.
Oh, I'm
somehow.
sure they're
now
good buddies.
Now that the TVA is crazy because the things that have kept Marvel afloat are the smaller properties, and it's not even small properties, but when you consider a show, it's a smaller property. Like Loki, and now this movie have kept the whole multiverse thing to make sense. I thought it was interesting though that they used an anchor now, and
Yeah.
I feel like they used that
You,
to save face a little bit.
you know what they used to save face for.
Yeah, because it's like all this time we didn't have a whole 2 seasons of Loki, and we ain't heard nothing about an anchor yet. And if we did, it wasn't called specifically that. It was called something
No,
else.
it's called something
So
else. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that they said that because it's okay in the main MCU. If Tony's the one who bit the dust, was he the anchor? So you telling me the 616 main timeline is slowly dying now? So you created some complications now, but you haven't created it, which is a Marvel thing to do. We introduced this new thing, and we're gonna let y'all figure it out until we actually explain it or show it to y'all. They just gave us a little taste of it.
They gave us the plot of how they're gonna make this all work out with the new casting of film, and we're gonna save that for a later bit. We're gonna finish the more Deadpool points before we get to that. But
Yeah.
I find it interesting that they brought up Anchor Point, but they used it to give their best Fox best like rated movie. It's like respect because Logan is Fox's best they put out, so it made sense to make that the anchor or make Logan the anchor point.
Yeah, I kind of want an Old Man Logan movie though. Now, when I saw him as Old Man Logan, I was like, dude, you look badass in that with the cowboy hat on.
Yeah,
This old grumpy man. We could see like Baby Hulks and all that, and the country bumpkin Hulks.
we could.
You know,
I'm
and
the fan.
a Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner as old Hawkeye.
Hey man,
That would be fire. Because he
Get him
said
back.
he would come back to play Hawkeye.
Hey, here's the thing. We're putting out the seeds for you guys. Pick them up, plant them, and put them out there.
Mm-hmm.
Harvest them.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did like a season 3 of Loki. Like it would have Deadpool somewhere in there. Now that he's been thrown into the mix with the TVA,
the TVA and
especially
all that
when they had our girl, at the end, running things and she, said stuff to him. So it's like we probably gonna see a little bit more of him involved with the TVA, definitely.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
Yeah. Especially now that Loki is literally the multiverse tree.
That variant is the multiverse tree.
They need somebody to kind of like be there, and I think Wade is gonna ease his way into there somehow.
He'll figure his way out. That's just what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think. How did you feel about Cassandra Cain? Yeah, Cassandra. How did you feel about her being the main villain?
Interesting villain.
Yeah, I'll give you an extra question on top of that. I have to thought of it. How do you feel about her putting her hands to do her powers in your
bro?
Your skull,
okay, the first time I saw it, it was so weird, and it grossed me out, and it made me not. I don't know why, but it made me feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah, agreed.
But as it got more into the movie, and we learned more about her and her powers, I was like, that's actually cool because it's her brother who is Xavier, by the way, her twin. We always see this.
Yeah.
So it's like hers is even worse because she's literally digging into your mind and like feeling for it. It's almost like she's trying to grasp a certain like part of your brain to manipulate. Mm-hmm. And because she's the villain, it has to become a torture thing. Like with Charles, it's it's a slight touch. It's just breathe, trust me. Hers is an invasion. So the one way you can invade people is put your hands in their face, like literally touch people and put your hands in their space. Yeah. And like she's not just here, she's in there. So I'm like, okay, it works. The more it goes on, yes. I love it. So I like that about her. Her powers was crazy. What she did to Johnny, I was like, damn.
Hey, that's a funny part too.
She was in the MCU. She would have.
Yeah, she'd have been a threat. That's why they put her in there. They were like, but I find it funny that Johnny said all that stuff at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah.
He canonically said that.
What's crazy, like, if you notice, nobody complained about the way Johnny was portrayed because that's literally how Johnny would be because he was like he never shut up and he always really never talking. Did.
Always talking so much mess.
Yeah, so I was like, that's perfect. And it was so funny. How when it happened, like, Logan kept saying, yeah, your dumb ass got him killed. Like, he could not. He was so fed up with Deadpool. Like, you can see it in his face. And that's what's so great about, like, Hugh. Like, he can show that expression of, like, disgust in his face without really showing it. Just by the way he says something, or, like, he might stand and look. Or he don't really roll his eyes, but he can look like, oh my god, and it just, it worked so good. It worked. It
does. Yeah, I'll say one thing. Like they did a really good job of showing like they were like they didn't hate each other, but they didn't like each other. Were like in that gray area where like at the end he was like, "Hey, you want to come in here and meet my friends, my family? Come chill with us." And they had that like montage at the end because he was just gonna he was like I think Wolverine was gonna go off and be gone forever and like
do a Wolverine thing.
and then he was like, "Come on upstairs. I got like food and stuff upstairs."
Yeah,
But
I like though.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. Like I just liked that. Why I'm hoping that with him still being there, that we're gonna see like a huge like a resurgence in like the future like movies or whatever like that. Because I do want to see more of him now that we got the cowl. So I'm hoping like a cameo here, or like a moment or whatever like that. Not a whole movie. Like I can wish.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
And X-23, getting some more from her because now that she's in that verse, could we see her team up with maybe Miss Marvel or something like that, or another young Avenger? Get her, you know what I'm saying? Get her into the mix of everything, and maybe that's who they used to replace the Wolverine. They just use X-23. She's already there.
Mad with it.
I'm not mad either.
Mad with it.
Like I'm not mad about it either. I'll take it.
Hell yeah. I'll definitely take that because it's not really a gender swap. It's literally his daughter because she's a clone of him. So I would definitely be down for that.
That'd be cool. Or we just, like I said, we just need to get the writing for the Marvel properties right. We can make it work. We could tie that bow.
Were you surprised though that we did get a Hulk? Out of all the Avengers that appeared, that was the one that we got. Like
I was surprised. Yeah, I was definitely surprised because I was thinking we're gonna get Ruffalo or something. You know, like you know, I didn't think we were gonna get that Hulk. Like I wanted more of it.
Yeah, I thought we was gonna see a little fight happen.
Yeah, like
I was okay. I was okay with it. Yeah, especially the way they did the claws and his face in the claws, like the comic book cover. Which, by the way, definitely a lot of comic book references.
Yeah, the skull, the on the cross with the skulls in front cover was in there.
Then Giant Ant-Man, his skeleton, that's from Old Man Logan. What else? It was some little tidbits here and there, especially in the Void, like all the stuff that was there. The literal Fox logo.
I remember that. They fought in front of the Fox logo.
Yeah, that was a great way to do a fight because I'm like, it's exactly the last of the Fox characters fighting in front of the logo as it lays in a sandy pit.
I liked the now that you're mentioning that fight, I liked how Wolverine like got on all fours and like ran in.
Dude. When I saw that, bro, because it's like we've never seen him be primal. He's always been like, we've heard him go, but it's always been like straight up. Like when he got down and then he ran and then he leaped and that's Wolverine.
Yes.
Because he's at the end of the day, he has that beast mode in him. That Marshawn Lynch. He the Marshawn Lynch of Marvel. Like he go beast mode and it's over with, bro. So the fact that we got to see that, bro. Oh man. It's just a lot of things in this movie that just please me.
Yeah, agreed. Like I liked all the not choreography, but choreography, the fights and stuff like that. They were all done really well. Even like the way they filmed, like they filmed that big action scene in front of the Ant-Man skull. It was like not too choppy. You know what I mean?
Oh, really good.
It flowed really good.
What about Cassandra taking out a Doctor Strange though? She's like,
a
sorcerer was here, and I got one of these.
Did she call him a sorcerer? Or did she call him like a magician or something? I forget what she called him. Yeah, I think she called him a magician because it wasn't a sorcerer.
The fact that she said, I was like, bro, that's how you know she's powerful because she took down a sorcerer supreme, bro.
He's nothing.
And a Magneto, apparently, because Magneto didn't make it against her. I was like, man, this chick is crazy, yo.
I'm like I say, he's the perfect villain for a Deadpool movie. Because, like, at the end of the day, the only person that really isn't gonna be affected by her is Deadpool, because she can't kill him. No matter if she does a Johnny Storm to him, right? He's gonna just put himself back together. They're the perfect equal. Like she can kill him, and at the end he killed her with or not he killed her. Pyro killed her. Tried to kill her. I'll take it back.
Yeah.
Tried to kill her.
She was crazy too, bro. She was just laughing and shit. I was like, bro. I was like, man, y'all need to get rid of her because she's not gonna. If you let her live, she's gonna betray y'all, and she's gonna
And
come
she
back.
did
Which
immediately.
she did immediately, bro.
Yeah.
She took no time, but I was like, I'm fine with that because that's a real villain. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like I liked how she went in old boy's head and made him set up the Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was a really good villain.
And then she dragged him too, like that. I was
yeah.
like, ooh. I was like, she a bad what?
She is, man. I will say one thing. Out of the Marvel villains we've gotten, she's definitely on the top.
Oh yeah.
She's tops. It would have been Kang, but he died off in an Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, that's.
I'm just stoking the flames a little bit there. I know you want to say it's on the tip of your tongue. Tip of your tongue.
You sly dog. You try to get it out of me. You tried to get it out of me.
You set me up, man. You set me up.
Tried to get it out of me. Back to the review. Back to the review. But yeah. Oh, and like the whole thing, like seeing everybody, that montage of everybody fighting. We got to see Blade, Legacy Gambit, then Laura with the sunglasses. When she put the sunglasses
on. Yep. I was like,
then the way she took out Juggernaut, bro. I was
that
like,
was cool.
yo. I was like, why didn't they ever think of this in the movies? And then I had to remember they were PG-13, so they couldn't show that.
They couldn't do none of that.
That's the case. They would have took the Juggernaut out like this, bro.
Wolverine would have taken him out immediately. Like it wouldn't have been that much work.
Nah, not at all.
And plus, they didn't have any really. I mean, I guess they didn't really have any heavy hitters to take him down in the Foxverse stuff. I'm thinking about besides like Wolverine and
probably Cyclops and Storm.
Because Kitty Pryde got on him and she didn't really do anything.
Which she just ran him into the room with the boy who took away the mutant powers for a minute.
Which, I mean, I feel like they nerfed. Foxverse had the thing of nerfing a lot of the characters, which, that was the studio stuff. So, like I said, the movie was great. I liked all the characters that showed up, and they looked happy. Like you said, they looked happy to be there.
They enjoyed it, man. Because, sometimes you ask people to come back, and they're just like, yeah, okay, I do it for the money or whatever. It was like, nah, let's do it.
I'm here. I'm game.
Everybody they was ready to be back, happy to be back, bro. So I was going to ask. Oh, do you feel like with this film, it like puts that cushion under Marvel to save them? It's acknowledging the mess ups, but also it's like bringing in a new era of films and trying to correct and right their wrongs, which we feel like they should have never been to this point because they could have had some good movies along the way.
Yeah.
And shows. But also, do you feel like now it's still to me it's still like a little complication. Okay, so now how do you bring mutants into the MCU?
Yeah.
Because you've said we have one, Miss Marvel. And we know that they're there now, so it's explained like where they've been. Are we just gonna start from scratch and get a young first team, first class? We get like another first class movie. It's interesting because now we got like the Fantastic Four coming, and they're gonna be thrown. Because that's another thing, they're gonna be thrown into the main MCU somehow. So are we gonna get that? Which I hope we don't, because I want to see what they would do with their own original version of mutants.
Yeah, I think honestly, do I think this movie saves Marvel or whatever like that? It could be if this wasn't revealed, it could have been a good stepping stone to get him back into the flesh of things. And I feel like the Deadpool and Wolverine movie is going to be used to validate a lot of criticism for this decision right here. So I think that I'll say it's like putting a band-aid on a pipe. It's not fixing it, it's just prolonging the already stated problem. So it's still, and that's why I'm trying to avoid dipping into this news because it's going to validate the next part of my point, but I'll just say it a little bit. I think that even with them casting RDJ as Doom, it's not going to save them from what the MCU became. There's the only thing that they can do, honestly, at this point in time is if they're going to follow with this Doom thing, conclude it out and then make sure that they get good people that are going to carry the universe through the mutant verse or mutant saga. Because without a change, it's not going to fix the problem. The problem is not fixed. But I will say this movie definitely made me reignite for a lot of the things that I liked about Marvel. Like it reignited the thing that got me into the MCU in the beginning. The story, the writing, the characters coming in there and actually being accurate and taken well care of in the movie. The jokes,
the action,
the action, everything was top notch. It made me realize that Marvel has the potential of making good movies. They're just not doing it.
Number one, like we always say, put the people there who actually respect and love the content.
Exactly.
Because Ryan loves Deadpool. It's near and dear to him, and we see that. And the director also was a big fan. Oh, was there anything in particular that you maybe didn't like or felt could have been done better, or you feel like just I'm not really feeling that
about Deadpool 3?
Yeah,
I would say I don't think I found anything wrong with the movie per se. I have no problem that I can think of now. It's a good movie. Like I said, I think I rated it like an 8 out of 10. It's not bad, but it's not perfect. But like I say, I could excuse a little tiny thing that was going on. Like it was good. I know you're probably gonna rate it maybe a little higher than me, but I liked it as an 8. 8 was good.
Yeah, I think I'm cool with an 8. Because mine was kind of like somewhere in between 7.5, 8.
That was literally what I rated it to when I went to the group chat. I said 7.58 to the group chat. Like,
and it was, for me, it was mainly the ending.
Oh, okay. You didn't like the ending?
Because the Deadpool stuff was cool. And, you know, what they had to do. But I just felt it made sense. Because they couldn't fight Cassandra. But it was like, I don't know. That probably that part, but I think I'm just trying to pick at stuff, so I don't really think. It was fine.
Yeah,
I see what
like,
I know why they did it. I know why they did it.
Yeah, like it's definitely a different ending to a villain, but like at the end of the day, like it's Deadpool.
Sense.
It's Deadpool brand. Of course, he's gonna have a grab each other's hand. Two people can solve this problem kind of thing because that's just what he does. It's his own approach to it. I think Deadpool 3. It doesn't necessarily mean that the MCU is back, but it's a step in the right direction. If understood what made Deadpool 3 great, it's a step in the right direction. If they understand getting someone who likes the material and directs it and understands and loves the IP, it could change things. But with their decision of Doomsday and Secret Wars and stuff like that, and moving away from Kang, I don't think they understand what really made this movie great, because it's more or less at the end of the day, like they could have, and I guess we're gonna finish our Deadpool stuff before we get into that part.
I would say because that's definitely it legit came right after the movie.
Yeah, and it does. Like I say, both these things, my comments about casting and everything like that for the Doomsday or whatever, does fit in line with Deadpool 3 because it's definitely talking about multiverse and variants and stuff like that and anchor points. So it does almost bleed into each other. But yeah, any final thoughts on Deadpool 3?
Like I said, fun movie. We needed it because everything had been getting so dark and serious, and you know, this person jumped from this universe and this did that. So it was a very refreshing superhero movie that we haven't had in a while. I was excited to see it. I fanboyed out a lot because it didn't feel like fan service.
Agreed.
It just felt this is how it's supposed to be. Like it was done the right way. So as a fan, I greatly appreciate that. Good strong villain, good choice of characters.
Yep.
Because of the people who played them, so it was a great choice of characters. Like I said, I enjoyed it. 8 out of 10. Because it was pretty much the typical Deadpool movie, but it was a little higher in the stakes, which I
Exactly.
appreciated.
Yeah, agreed. I think I would say it's up there with Guardians when it comes to sticking the landing of a trilogy. Like, not many Marvel movies can do that. Or Marvel, no, it's right. Marvel movies can do that. Have that star one character can do like a start to sticking the landing conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a
All
lot of
pun,
those.
all pun intended. Superhero land. Nah, I'm just kidding. It was,
Yeah.
and like I said, I enjoyed it.
hmm
It made things more clear in a sense when it comes
Yeah.
to the MCU. I'm like, okay, now I can get with the multiverse because y'all been taking out time to explain it, like with Loki and then with this. So I'm like, cool. Now it's making sense. Not you come out with it first and then try to make it make sense. But
Yeah.
still, the problem is with having multiverses and introducing these characters. It's almost no. They if they die, they could come back as this version of themselves. Or they could
You're
the
getting
world.
there.
Yes, no. With that being said,
Let me ask the question to you.
yeah,
How do you feel about the RDJ casting as Victor Von Doom?
I was just gonna say. So me saying that is because my brother over here has a shirt on and he's been giving the hints to it all day. Um, just recently at Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, when they was at, I think it was last Saturday, they announced RDJ as Doctor Doom for the MCU, and I was like, everybody was like, yeah, RDJ is back, and all hype, and I was like, no, oh, bro, because the character who he's portraying is a real villain, but
hmm
what makes him so good as a villain is his background, where he came from, what was his reason for becoming a villain, how his suit is made, basically out of majestical like armor that he got covered in like spells and stuff like that, and they show how he got his powers. Show him his own island. He just be chilling. They always messing with him. So many good aspects to his character's origin, and the fact that we make him a Tony Stark variant is now you
Well,
kind of dumb it down. So
my understanding was that he's playing Victor Von Doom. He's not a variant. He's just Victor Von Doom. That's who he is.
but he looks like Tony Stark.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I was talking to this guy at a comic book store, one of the comic book owners, and he was saying there is a storyline that they could do where Doom and Iron Man switch places, and so
Yeah.
they might just do that as the thing. But it's still, I don't. I'm still not a fan of it. I'm still not a fan of RDJ coming back as Victor Von Doom, just because I wanted a different person to play Doom.
Yeah, it's like
No one who likes Doom wants RDJ to play Doom. Like that's not what you
yeah.
wanted. Nobody
And
like.
he's never been a villain, so we've seen him as Iron Man. It's gonna throw some people off. I don't see him being like a menacing, like overruling person. And there's so many young actors and
Mm,
actors a little younger than him that could have did the role. And I'm like, why don't y'all give these cats a chance and stop leaning on the same person? Like you said that we were done with the whole Tony Stark Iron Man thing. Then it was reports Robert Downey Jr. is done, retiring from Marvel,
yeah,
whatever. Not even retired, but he's not doing any more movies. Then you bring him back to play a beloved villain, a villain we love. And I'm telling you now, I can tell you the whole how the
I already
whole
know.
movie's gonna
Go
happen.
ahead, let it come out there. Put it out there before Marvel does.
So we got the Fantastic Four movie coming up, right?
Okay.
So the Fantastic Four movie is supposed to be set in a version of the 1960s New York. That's based on that artwork of what they thought the future, the world of tomorrow was gonna look like. So it's like a clean look. So we got a lot of like different kind of shaped buildings, and they're not like straight up and down the curve. So it's like that kind of version of 1960 New York. So the idea is they're gonna be fighting Galactus. So therefore it won't be Doom. But my theory is that in the movie at the very end, when they're about to get pulled into the MCU, whatever portal or whatever thing happens, the version of Victor Von Doom who RDJ is playing is gonna be in. He's from that world. So when they get pulled in, he's pulled in. So I was even saying it to where it would be probably at the end of the very end credit scene at the end of Fantastic Four. And you'll see, like, it'll probably pan down and you'll see the Marvel Cinematic Universe or some familiar place or something. And then it'll pan across like this. And you see just like the green hood. But he takes the hood off. And then the mask comes off and he turns and it's RDJ. And then it goes like fade to black. Because it's almost like it'll be like a play on, oh, he doesn't belong in this world, but he took his mask off like he knew he was he looked like Tony Stark or something because he's been watching Worlds. Now they could do that, pull it off, and then boom. I'm like you, I'm still not down with it because it's almost like a reach.
Yeah,
It's like a break the glass in case of emergencies kind of thing. And
agreed.
it makes me nervous about them because it shows also now y'all feeling the pressure of DC and y'all showing it by doing that. So no, DC finna start doing stuff. So we gotta bring our boy RDJ back to save the day. So
Say DC taking up. DC's about to take over with their cinematic universe, and I think it just feels, for me, it feels very, it's disrespectful because he hasn't even been gone for an entire saga. He has not been gone for an entire saga, and you're already relying to bring him back already. You can't come up with any other storylines for a Doom person to be besides RDJ is Doom. You can't write your way into another Doom without relying on one of the Golden Boys, or actually two of the Golden Boys, or three of the Golden Boys, with the Russo brothers and RDJ coming back. Like, here's the thing. And I said this, and I said this in the group chat. I was like, even if it's a good movie, even if the movie's all the way good, I'm still not gonna like the RDJ being a Doom. It's still not gonna change that for me.
This is not going.
There's no way you can. There's no way you can write this movie or direct it or whatever. It's gonna make me think that's like the best decision that we could have made.
And it's bittersweet, and it sucks that we can't get the true villain who was supposed to be Kang because of whatever. We don't have to get into the situation with Jonathan Majors, but at the same time, I was like, it's like crazy that RDJ is literally somebody who was like on the break of throwing his whole career away, and they gave him a second chance. And and Jonathan Majors didn't get that, but even at that, I'm like, so y'all telling me, so either he did that good of a job that y'all can recast, or you just don't care because it's a minority character that could possibly be a threatening villain. And we never really get to have good African American or brown people as villains, actually good villain who was not finna play. The fact that we didn't get Kang in the way they set it up, I'm like, bro, y'all really could have recasted Kang and kept it the Kang dynasty. And then you could have brought in Doom that way. But I'm like, bro, you finna totally act like the Kang thing didn't happen now.
Here's the thing.
Now we're just automatically getting Doom.
Here's the thing. The funny thing is, as they were so like half-assed with Kang, that all they have to do is just say that Ant-Man beat Kang and they don't have to touch it ever again. Because let me ask you a question. How many times in these movies did they mention Kang? How many times in these movies did they mention Kang? Besides, exactly. So all they got to do is tie it off.
Kang. We didn't hear about Kang until Loki. If it wasn't for Loki, Kang would have been only known to us if you seen Quantumania.
Exactly. And here's the thing: they can tie that stuff off with. They could really just tie that stuff off with being that his last appearance is in Quantumania, and then immediately go into Dune because they did a horrible job of bringing him into the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about that today. I'm like, honestly, they don't really have to do much to explain it. All they got to do is just say he that was the only Kang variant that we ever got, ever, or besides the Loki stuff, but ever in any of the movies, because those are the ones that really matter. TV shows are cool, but the movie versions of whatever villain it is are like they're the bigger threat. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, their lackluster rollout of Kang made it easy for them to bring in an RDJ as Doom. It really did. It's honestly their best move because they don't know how to write Kang. Like after Thanos, they lost their ability to write villains, really.
He would have been at the villain. The damn good. The fact that there's different variants of him, his history of what decade he went to and then came back from. So yeah, it's unfortunate. You get what you can get. Like you said before, it's like a roller coaster. We here for the ride now.
Deadpool, we're like this. Woo! After that, being everything else, we're like, okay.
I guess this is fine, but my little sister wanted to get on the ride, so I had to take her. It's one of
right?
them things. So.
It's one of those.
So yeah, man. So like you said, just to sum up everything, we'll see how this thing goes with RDJ. I'm really not with it because for one, he's older. Two, it's just not. It's not. They're gonna have to really try hard to convince me because, like you said, I don't care if it's good. I'm still gonna be against it.
Like and here's the thing: when that movie comes out, and it will come out, we will be there to review it because we're definitely not letting that movie pass without giving.
Yeah, because we done made all this fuss about it. We got to talk about it when it happens.
So they gonna get our money, but we're gonna make a little bit of ad revenue off of them. So it is what it is.
D, if you have any final thoughts, anything,
that's my final thought for the RDJ thing. That's all it sums it up.
And I'm gonna go.
Oh, two on him. Okay, so
you know how RVD used to point at himself like this. I'm gonna go.
I'll tell. I got one last response. I have never eye rolled harder in my life to a
dude. I was like, them folks is really going crazy on the internet about this bullshit. I'm like, bro, this some BS.
They said MCU is back. I'm like, MCU ain't back. Like I say, leaky pipe with a band-aid. Okay, leaky pipe with a band-aid is my analogy. All right.
Just oh man, yes. If it's anything else, if it's not anything else, Demetrius, you know what time it is. And I'm just gonna tell y'all tonight, this is a special shameless promotional when your boy Do Rag shouted at night from the MCU at the Square Round. Nah, just kidding. But now, so D, it's that time for that shameless promotion. No. Okay, go ahead, kill that thing.
All right. If you want to view this podcast, you can view this podcast on YouTube. If you like the video, give us a comment on the video on anything we said. How did you like Deadpool? Did you like all the cameos that came back? Were you surprised by any of them besides like the obvious ones? But also, how did you feel about RDJ being casted Victor Von Doom? Are you with us? Did you not like it? Are you in the middle? Are you on the fence until you see like a trailer? Or are you just not? Or are you just all the way in? Also, click that notification bell on the right side of our video so you get notified of this video and the future videos. And follow us on fandomlim.com, squareroundtable.fandomlim.com, and follow us on Rap Nerd and all our socials, our Instagram, Twitter, I'm not calling it X, and eventually Discord. It's almost here. Like I keep saying it all the time, but like it's coming. I gotta fine tune it.
Gotta, like they say in the NBA, you gotta trust the process, man.
Yeah. Got to trust the whole process. So, with that being said, do you have any final last remarks?
No, man. I just want to say thank you to all our followers, subscribers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Y'all make us. Y'all talk to us. Y'all like the content. Y'all keep us going. Just a big shout out to you guys for hanging around with us.
Yeah.
We're going to keep pushing out good content for y'all. Give us all the feedback. If there's anything you want to hear us talk about, anything you want to see us review, discuss, put it down in the comments below. Y'all been very active in talking to us, so we love it.
We appreciate it. Keep it coming. We appreciate that.
We love to talk, as you see. We love to talk. So yeah, that was my final thing. I just want to give a shout out to all the followers and subscribers because I don't like to call them fans because they like family.
Yes, Square Roundtable family.
Yeah, so we just want to give y'all a shout out. Appreciate y'all.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. And on that note,
we are. I'm sorry. I'm your host, Dmitri.
Not Dr. Doom.
Not Dr. Doom, even though I'm wearing the best Doom merch you'll ever see.
And I'm Marcus, bub. Yeah, I did.
You did the whole thing. Okay, I respect it. And this has been the Square on Table podcast. We are out. Peace.